recording. So,
Welcome back to something about Catholics, if you didn't forget us.
yeah, it's been a little while. I'm actually surprised at the number of people that have reached out to us regarding the podcast and wanting to know when we're going to do another episode or what we plan to do next. And Jessica, you just said that you were looking a little while ago at the last time that we dropped an episode, and I think you said January.
Yep.
Wow. So
It's been just a couple months.
May 31st today, so June 1st tomorrow. That's January to February, February to March, March to April, April to May, May to June. Almost 6 months, 5 months, somewhere in there. So yeah, it's been a little while.
Let's not get too down about that.
No, we've had a lot of lot going on in the background, and
For the people who have asked us about it, thank you too. Like, that means a lot that you did listen and did care where we were in the meantime.
yeah, and we have wanted to continue. It's not that we wanted to stop. It's just life sometimes gets a little funky, and you have to roll with what's going on in the background. And yeah, I guess the first thing we should say is we're okay. Like nothing huge and life altering happened, but we did move your mom around a little bit. So she's living closer to us.
If you don't know the backstory. we physically moved boxes and things from her house to a new spot closer to us. She's about 8 minutes away from where we live now.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, Jesse's mom has Parkinson's, and it has become rather debilitating. So
That is correct.
A challenge for her care and how to best take care of her. And in relationship to where we were before, anytime that Jesse needed to go over and help with anything, it was a good 45 minutes to an hour commute. And then even more sometimes, I think, with traffic.
Yep. It's nice that she's closer if she needs anything.
Yeah.
She keeps saying that she's happy to be part of our bubble, but it's her bubble now too.
That's right. That's right. And
and she is she has some more resources in this county, it seems like, versus her previous one where she lived before. Some more PT options and possible, if you schedule it way in advance, travel options. It seems if she needs to get to an appointment. So we'll see how those things pan out in helpfulness. But so far she seems hopeful and is liking it.
good. I know that it's hard to move. It's hard to go from the house that she was in to the apartment that she's in now. And then on top of that, also get used to this new place around you. And like, is there a grocery store close? There is. Spoiler alert. And some of the restaurants and things around here are different. So we do live in a more rural area. So it's not as built up as much as, say, Charlotte.
It's starting to be, but definitely a change from Charlotte. She is allergic to gluten, so she's enjoying finding the local gluten-free spots that she can obtain food from.
Yeah, and there's a couple good spots. And there's a Catholic church very close by, too. And they're in the midst of rebuilding the sanctuary itself from the ground up.
Yes.
Maybe by Christmas time, I think that project is supposed to be complete.
And I think that's about 3 to 5 minutes from where she's living now. And she hopes that she can get over there. It does take a lot of extra help to get over there. It doesn't just take one person because she's wheelchair bound, and it takes extra help to get there, basically.
Right. Yeah. So that's been a big...
Spoiler alert on the grocery store part, though, that she's enjoyed. There's a shopping center that has very few things, but one of them is a grocery store. And she recently got a powered wheelchair, and with it sounds like with certain caregivers that are up for the adventure, she's taking the wheelchair over there to grocery shop, and there's a burger place in that same area too that she can wheelchair over to. So it sounds like it's a fun adventure. There's a sidewalk to get there, and
Yeah.
it's like a way to get out that it doesn't require a big production to get into either a transport service or a car or van.
Yeah, for anybody out there that's rolling their eyes about this, it is a big deal because it is a very, very, very hard thing to get her into a vehicle, to get her to a location, and then so on and so forth. So for her to be able to go over in a wheelchair without the use of like some other type of transportation on top of that is a huge deal.
Before how debilitated she is, she would want to get out of the house every day too. So it's been many years of her not being able to do that and having to come to terms with that fact. So even just getting out to the grocery store seems like an exciting thing. And I'm sure people that have loved ones that struggle with any kind of chronic illness, or if you have had one yourself, you understand that, how big of a deal it is to exit your house.
Yeah, for sure. It just also occurred to me that you are the reason that you sound a little different right now. I was trying to pinpoint it. It's because of the pop filter.
Do I sound better?
Yeah, it sounds great.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the pop filter is a game changer.
It's funny because it is purple, which is my favorite color. Ryan ordered it for me, and I was so excited, and I haven't gotten to use it yet. But Ryan has been recording things with his friend John, and he's gotten to use the purple pop filter. And each time that I've heard that they've recorded something, I'm like, we need to do that so that I can use my cool purple microphone.
Yeah, separate podcast. I have a good friend of mine who I've known for virtually all of my life, and we wanted to talk about video games. So we started up a separate podcast to talk about that kind of thing. It's a little different subject matter, but just feel this want to continue recording. So
What's the name of it?
we don't have a name yet.
You're still working on it?
Still working on it.
I love it. But you guys are doing it differently than how you and I started too. You're getting a couple ready to go before you release them.
Right.
And we've heard from other people that is the way to go. So that'll be good.
And I guess that kind of brings us to the next piece here of talking about where we go from here as far as our podcast is concerned. So we had been chatting a lot about, do we continue something about Catholics? Because I think our faith is very important to the two of us. I don't want to speak for both of us, but I think our faith is very important to us. And we wanted to
It is.
have a podcast or discussion that was kind of focused on that. But Jessie has also felt a little bit of a separate calling, and I'll let you speak to that. I don't want to speak on your behalf.
Also not sure on the naming of it. And I would like for Ryan to be part of it, but Ryan keeps pushing me to do something on my own. So I'm trying to listen to that as well. I would like for it to be a combination of you and I talking and interviewing other people as well. And the purpose of it is, in my brain, would be to hear other people's perspectives of what keeps them going in the hard stuff of life. Like when you have a conversation with someone else and you're telling them about what's happened, and they look at you and they go, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe you keep going on. Like, what keeps you going?" That interests me, and it's something that I would like to listen to because of the things that I've been through in life. So I thought, there are people that I know or would like to have a conversation with that I don't know yet. And I would like to ask them questions that other people might find helpful in the journey of life. I think I've been stuck for a while on how to get that going though. And that's probably stunted you and I with our podcast, because I don't think that there's anything wrong with talking about our faith. And I love our faith, but I've been trying to throw around either how to combine the two or to do something separately. And then just also talk about part of who I am, which is happens to contain my faith as well. So
I think people also find your story interesting, and I think the way that you want to talk to others brings something out of them that is unique. I think you have a very unique gift in touching people and putting them at ease and ultimately getting them to open up in a way that I don't know is natural to most people.
thank you.
So, I do think that we came up with a name. So maybe this means that you don't like the name and that's why you're throwing it out here. But the name that I was proposing for this new podcast was Oak and Anchor. And I landed on Oak and Anchor because an oak tree, when you think of it, and you think of how old they are and how large they are and their branches and just how solid of a foundation they have and the roots that they...
Their roots go really deep too, right?
Exactly. And then anchor, I thought about something that buoys us to what we believe, buoys us to our faith, buoys us to our moral core. And I just thought that those two things together, that oak tree and then an anchor, I just thought were really powerful symbols for what we were trying to convey for this particular format. And so,
And when speaking to other people too, it's like what anchors you to who you are. And with that same concept that I've been talking about, what anchors you to keep you going each day? Like what gets you up in the morning? What keeps you going? Same concept.
right.
But I don't have any objections to the name. I just think you and I have had so many conversations where it's like, do we do this together? Do I take off on it? So I didn't want to say the name unless, you're okay with going forward with that. So that was my hesitation. It wasn't not liking the name.
I think the other piece of it is another reason that I had envisioned more of taking kind of not a back seat, but almost like a second party, if you will, to these different conversations was to let Jessie do her free-form discussion with a guest, and then I would try to assist more like on a technical level.
Which I would appreciate.
I think it's a more intimate conversation if it's between Jessica and a guest rather than Jessica and myself and a guest. So I think that's another piece that we're trying to iron out here. But
yeah,
I don't think I always put people at ease. I think you do. And that's why I am a little stuck on that piece of it. So stay tuned.
That's interesting that you feel that way.
Oh, I know. But I know the way that I come across to certain people, and I can tell.
As an outsider, I see differently.
Interesting.
We can agree to disagree.
Fair enough. The other piece, and I don't know how deep you want to get into this, but do you want to talk a little bit about the other recent thing that you've had going on?
Yeah, it's probably a good way to say it is I've been working with a woman who's in the UK, and we recorded something together for her podcast. And then she's also a writer for the Daily Mail UK. She put together an article for that. It's all revolving around my family story, my own experience with what happened with my dad and my sisters, and kind of where I am on the other side of it, and the conclusions that I've come to over time based on what happened to my dad. So I think I'm struggling because I'm like, if we put this podcast out before the article and her podcast comes out, I don't think I should say more than that. But if we wait until that comes out, then maybe we could just do a separate podcast and say a little bit more about my experience doing that and your experience being a part of it as well.
Yeah, I think the main crux of it is it's kind of an interesting thing that's going on in the background, and I think we could also promote it from this perspective when the time is right. So, other things going on,
Yes,
outside of the podcast that we just spoke about, I guess.
I'll keep everyone listening updated on that. And if you're curious for like a more in-depth question and answer format of what happened with my dad and more of my feelings, my thoughts, what happened around that time, then stay tuned.
Is there anything else that you want to share?
Anything from a Catholic perspective that you want to talk about? You've added the Angelus in, I've noticed. I've enjoyed being part of that at times.
Yeah. I guess I would just say from a personal perspective, something that I grew up with. And, as time goes on, sometimes you stop certain things and then realize how important it was to your day to day. I try to say the rosary in the morning when I leave for work. And that's been a huge help. It's been a huge help to get through each and every day, because something else that I haven't spoken more broadly about is just that work has been a bit of a mess over the last couple months. My immediate team has gone through a bit of a turbulent time. And at the same point in time, I have taken on a moniker of training the organization on how to use Microsoft Copilot. So I'm deep in the throes of what most people know is this AI revolution that's kind of taken the US and the world more broadly by storm. And I've really enjoyed that, but it's been a lot of like late nights and training in order to keep myself up to date. And I've enjoyed it for the most part because it's getting to speak to a large swath of people. And it's kind of neat, you get onto a call and you think you're going to talk to 200 to 300 people, and it winds up being more along the lines of 3,000 or 4,000 people at a time. And you're taking them through a presentation that you have kind of built from the ground up on different pieces of this tool. So it's been a bit of a learning experience, and then gathering actual real-time feedback in order to understand how my cadence comes across and what people appreciate and don't appreciate, and just a whole nother avenue of learning. And it's just been a lot of time sunk into this, just because I'm not only doing the East Coast, but I'm also taking on the West Coast, and then our friends in Asia and the Pacific and so on and so forth. So there's a number of different time zones that I've been involved in, and it's just eaten a great deal of time and energy. So it's another reason why I haven't been as connected or had the energy to devote to this. And it stinks because I've really missed this. Yet again, this is one of those things that I think is frustrating, because I might consider this a hobby, but when I get on and I talk to you or I talk to John, or any time that I get behind the microphone and then have the ability to subsequently edit, it is fulfilling a need of mine that I've come to realize, where I just need to do something outside of work.
Yes.
For myself. And I think that this is part of that. And I want to just keep pressing on that. And so that's why I started the other podcast with my friend John. And we've also started talking about, what if we did a freeform live stream engagement once a week, where we would talk about pop culture or what's going on in the news and different media type things. And I think the uniqueness that we bring to it is that we're both, shockingly, conservatives. And I think we're both Catholic. So it's kind of a unique perspective to that industry that I don't really think exists more broadly.
Yeah.
So we've been chatting about how to make that happen.
You guys have unique perspectives to give.
But I wanted to circle back on one other thing real quick. And I just wanted to say that you had brought up earlier, thank you for all of the people that have reached out to us to encourage us to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wanted to echo that sentiment again because I've had people personally either talk to me in person or text me or pull me aside even at work and just say, "Hey, when is the next episode coming out?" So I appreciate that. It's a big deal. It's a big deal to hear that from people. And it is encouraging and it does make me want to just keep doing this. If there was a way to make this happen full time, believe me, I would jump at the chance. But
Yeah.
I think it's just finding that niche to make that happen. And so until that happens, we'll just keep trying to press on it here. I just want to make it happen more regularly again, I guess.
Me too. So basically, we're going to keep throwing things at the wall and seeing what sticks.
I don't think so. I think that based on the conversations that you and I have had about this Oak and Anchor podcast, I think that Jesse's actually got a script written out and everything for her first guest. And I just keep saying, do it.
Do it.
And I think that is the healthy thing to do, because otherwise we will just talk in perpetuity and it will never happen. So I think the script that she has is very sound. I think the questions are great. And I think that she's got a really good guest lined up. And I think it's just a matter of sitting down and making it happen.
Thank you. That's very nice of you. But I meant throwing things at the wall, just like your idea with John and recording your podcast that you guys already have going, and then my separate thing. I didn't mean it as a haphazard thing. We're going to see what works.
Makes sense.
Also,
Way harder to just sit down and do things than you might think too.
It is, especially when overwhelmed by life. So also want to say to anyone who's listening who is overwhelmed, you're not alone.
Go, baby, go.
And we'll keep praying for our listeners. So if you just happen to come across this, or if you're like, oh my gosh, there's another podcast after many months, let me check this out. If you're going through anything hard, you're not alone. I think it's really easy to feel alone sometimes. So other thing that we've been going through is the whole infertility journey too. Are you okay with talking about that or no?
Sure.
Currently, we're trying more of like a treatment option route for that. That's still acceptable underneath like the Catholic Church standards, but it's different than testing, talking to doctors, and then hoping for the best. So if we could ask for your prayers during that, and then just the whole sometimes you feel alone conversation, that is one aspect of how I think couples and people can feel alone sometimes, because when you see people with children, you don't know what their backstory is to getting there, but it can be hard when you're longing for that yourself.
Yeah, I would agree with on all accounts. I think that, I don't know how much I've shared of this more broadly with people around me. I might have mentioned it to people that never really got into it, but yeah, we've done since I guess the beginning of the new year, ultrasounds and testing different things. And Jessica's been involved in all kinds of doctor's visits and treatments in order to make this happen. So I know it's possible because I have a really close friend who fortunately doesn't live in the state. So we haven't had an opportunity to catch up in person, but he and his wife went through a pretty bad miscarriage last year. And his wife just conceived a couple months ago. And so anything is possible. I always try to keep that in mind, that God's got a plan and we're all on that journey together. And one step at a time, I guess.
It's great advice.
Yep.
And even if we hadn't been told differently, God still has his own plan, but we have not been told that it's not possible. It's just taken longer than
It's the journey
you and I would have expected or wanted.
Yep.
So that's even outside of the whole infertility realm. It's like when you want something and you think that you hear from God or outside sources that thing should be, it's hard to be in the waiting place, to be Dr. Seuss about it, where people are just waiting. It's difficult.
It is difficult. I think that's we've conveyed all the different fun and exciting scenarios that we've been through recently, and what's been a little bit prohibitive of our time on this podcast. So
correct.
With that, I think we might try one or two more episodes as kind of a bridge until we get into this different format. So at some point in the near future, if that format changes, my thought is that the actual where you'll get the podcast is not going to change. You might just see the name and the image associated with it change, and then
Oh,
a little bit different content. So
we could
we'll
do
see.
that, or we can put it in the description of like, this is the last episode of this, and go here and then add a link. And we can verbally say it in that episode as well. If we don't, there will be a way to find where we go next.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. We'll keep everybody posted as we get closer to ultimately fruition and making that happen.
Thanks for coming back and listening to us. Or if you found us for the first time, thanks for listening.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in.